Hey, welcome to SK Lifestyle. So today we're gonna change out a light bulb on an over oven microwave. Now it's a pretty simple ordeal, nothing too complicated, but if you do have a situation like mine, I do have a few tips for you. Now you're probably just needing to change out the bulb for a LED or just a replacement, you want something brighter and that's cool. Or if you're like me, you probably have the bulb blown out, so you definitely need to change it out. And if you're really like me, then you might not have had light for a few years because you were just being lazy. Well, today's the time to stop being lazy, right? So let's get into it. Now, of course, you're going to need some kind of replacement bulb, and you can check the manual for that, but usually a lot of places like Amazon, and I will put up the link to where I got my replacement bulbs from Amazon, will just kind of tell you the model number, and you can usually find that right on the inside of the microwave, so not too difficult. The only other things you need is a pretty standard screwdriver. You might want a smaller tip just to fit the screw. They tend to be a little bit smaller. And then in my particular situation, I also needed a pair of gloves. Little rubber tips were certainly helpful, and a pair of scissors. And I'll get into that in a minute when we start the replacement. Other than that, the only other thing you may want to do if you are really nervous about dropping the screw or something, because you can see here, the oven is pushed away from the back of the wall. So if you drop something, it's going to fall behind and be a real pain to get to. So if you don't want to do that, you can rig up something like this. Just a little trash bag, 2 pieces of tape. You can just put it right underneath. And there you go. So if you do drop a screw or something, or the bulb itself, it'll just hit the little trash bag, roll down, be easy to collect, and get back to work. So that said, let's take a look underneath the microwave and get to it. Now, if you don't want to go through the hassle of putting something up against the wall, or it's not really a concern, but you still want to make sure that you got the screw, what I suggest is you kind of put a little pressure from the side with your finger, and as you start to unscrew the screw, you can just keep it pressed up against the plate. And it may even get loose enough where you can just start to do it with your fingers. And just always keep pressure on your fingers with the screw. And that way, you may even want to use your other hand, you can get it out. Now it's a very tiny screw, and I'm sure you can kind of replace it, but it's just much easier to keep the one that you got. And you see this will kind of hang down. It's kind of locked in place, but you want to be careful. You see how far it came off and how easy it was to take off? It could have easily went behind. So you want to be careful of that as well. Now, one thing I should mention is there should be another screw right here, so it shouldn't flop down as quick, but you're going to want to remove that one as well, and as soon as you do, then it's just going to drop down. And if you just kink it to the side, it should come out fairly easily. Now, here comes the part with the bulb where I needed scissors and gloves. And of course you want to make sure that your oven is in the off position for the light. But I'm still going to wear rubberized gloves. Now, my bulb actually blew to the point where this was very loose, but it was still connected by one of the wires inside the metal housing at the bottom. So what I did is I took my scissors, I pulled the bulb down as much as I could, and I snipped the wire right there and took the bulb away. Well, now SK has a problem because the metal piece of the bulb at the bottom, this piece here that I'm tapping, is still inside. So you can see it's a very awkward position. The wall's back here. I'm not facing the way the bulb sits in. So you needed to put your finger in there and twist. And that's why I use the gloves, so that I don't cut myself. And so there's very few chance of serious electrocution, even though you should have the switch in the off position. And what's a really good idea is to shut off the power completely to the area that you're working in. So here comes the easy part. Now that you have your socket free, you can just slide it in there, and you just want to roll your thumb downwards to screw it in the right way. And don't do it very hard. It's glass right there, and it doesn't need to be super tight. As long as you feel, slight resistance, then you're good. And we are almost done. So you're going to take your cover piece, slip it in there, take your screw, and do the back piece first, and screw that piece in. And once you do that, and what I really suggest to do for both of them, and I'll show you on this one, is to feed the screw through the hole. Keep pressure on it and push it all the way up into the hole where it needs to be screwed in. And then still keep pressure, hold your screw, until it seats itself. Now to really see some of the fruits of my labor. What a glorious sight that is. Let there be light, right? So, like I said, should be very simple, very easy. 1-2 minute fix at most. Hopefully you don't have the issues I did where a light blows out and you need gloves and scissors to cut it open. But if you do, hey, now you know what to do. So if you like this video, if it was helpful, be sure to hit the like button, share it with your friends and family. If you have any questions or comments, leave those in the comment section down below. And be sure to hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to SK Lifestyle. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time.